When superb still is not good enough.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Progressive Insurance. The Name Your Price tool provides a range of coverage options. Progressive.com. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
I'm David Brancaccio. You might have thought it was just a quarterly release of profits and sales from a public corporation, but for people enthusiastic about artificial intelligence, it was like watching a World Cup final. It was the release of the spring into summer results from NVIDIA, the firm that makes and sells powerful microchips good for generative AI. The company's been did fabulously well again, but still disappointed some, and the stock is down in pre-market trading now. Here's Marketplace's Nova Safo.
NVIDIA's financial results would be the envy of any company. Revenues were up 122% from a year ago. Compare that to 5%, the amount of revenue growth S&P 500 companies are expected to generate in aggregate this quarter. That's according to the data firm FactSet. NVIDIA's quarterly profit, meanwhile, was around $17 billion. These numbers beat Wall Street's expectations, but not by as much as they have in the past. As a result, NVIDIA's stock price wilted after the company released its results. To make matters worse, if you can call it that, the company forecast revenue for next quarter at about the amount analysts expected. Some on Wall Street appear to have interpreted that as something to worry about, if you're looking for signs that perhaps the AI-inspired stock market rally has gotten ahead of itself. NVIDIA is a bellwether for AI, as it reportedly commands about 80% market share for the types of advanced chips necessary to power those applications. I'm Nova Safo for Marketplace.
NVIDIA stock is down 3.2% in pre-market trading. S&P and NASDAQ futures are both up 0.2%. The government today said economic growth in the spring to summer quarter was stronger than first estimated, expanding at a 3% annual rate. Consumer spending was a key part of this. Market interest rates are up 3.87% for the 10-year yield. And Dollar General stock is down by about a quarter after its profits came in today much lower than expected. Rival Dollar Tree stock, that's down about 9% pre-market. The founder and boss of the nearly anything goes messaging company Telegram is under official order not to leave France. Pavel Durov has now been charged for allegedly failing to curb criminal activity using his app. Durov has sometimes been called Russia's Mark Zuckerberg. The BBC's Zoe Kleinman has more.
Pavel Durov is a really interesting character. He's sometimes described as the Mark Zuckerberg of Russia. He was born in Russia, but he left the country in 2014. He actually set up a massive social network over there called VKontakte, which is still going. But he left after refusing to comply with the authorities there, who wanted information about content that was being shared. These days, he's a citizen of both France and Dubai. And the messaging platform that he founded is called Telegram, and it's used by nearly 1 billion people worldwide. The accusations that he faces include running a platform to enable illicit transactions by an organised gang, refusing to communicate with authorities, and complicity in the organised criminal distribution of sexual images of children. He's under formal investigation in France. He's not allowed to leave the country. But that said, it's still absolutely unprecedented for the owner of a social media platform to be arrested in this way. So it really is a very unusual step for the French authorities to take.
That's the BBC's Zoe Kleinman.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Odoo, designed to save time on business management with one simple user-friendly software, odoo.com. Everything any business will ever need. And by Rubrik. When cyber attacks put businesses at risk, Rubrik provides the power to bounce back fast. More at Rubrik.com.
Now to a demographic breakdown on contributions to U.S. economic growth. Today, Latinas. A study finds their contributions to gross domestic product grew by more than 50% between 2010 and 2021, by that last year totaling $1.3 trillion with a T. This from California Lutheran University and the University of California, Los Angeles. Much of that growth comes from the educated daughters of Latinx immigrants. Marketplace's Elizabeth Troval has more.
Though they're just 9% of the population, Latinas accounted for 30% of the growth in the U.S. labor force from 2010 to 2021, and their real income was up 46% in that time.
It is growth that we have been witnessing firsthand and tracking and following for years now.
Jen Auerbach Rodriguez is an executive with Merrill Wealth Management, a subsidiary of Bank of America, which funded this research. She says it's important for financial institutions to recognize that growth.
1 in 3 of every new checking account that we open in the consumer network is opened by a member of the Hispanic Latino community.
But it's important to note why Latinas are making economic gains, like the growth in GDP. Fernando Lozano is a professor of economics at Pomona College.
It can go up either because Latinos are doing better in the economy, or it can go up because there's more Latinos in the economy.
And Lorna Rivera with the University of Massachusetts Boston says a lot of that economic growth is really about the number of Latinas who are entering the workforce, which is happening at a time when
that prime working age group for non-Latinos is declining because they're getting older, right?
Those younger Latina workers play a vital role and will for decades to come.
Because they're also very young population.
Despite their economic rise, Rivera says Latino workers are still overrepresented in certain low-wage jobs.
In like office and administrative support or food preparation, personal care, building and grounds, cleaning.
Latinas earn an average of 57 cents for every dollar a non-Hispanic white man earns, according to UCLA. And Joaquin Rubalcaba with the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, says he's concerned about the transfer of Latina wealth.
I'm not even talking about for immigrants. I'm talking about like second, third generation. Are we going to see that they are able to still continue the upward mobility?
He says it's unclear how much future generations will be able to build on economic gains made by today's Latinas. I'm Elizabeth Troval for Marketplace.
And you're listening to the Marketplace Morning Report from 8 p.m. American Public Media.